Range 22,000 feet.
You have your orders, Lieutenant. Your job is to be their eye in the sky.
Yes, ma'am.
I have to know if Danford is inside and who is with her.
We lost visual.
Christ.
We need a decision
Ready.
right now.
3,
Go!
2,
Wait.
1.
The relevance of this movie is so amazing because it keeps changing and the drone situation keeps getting more sophisticated. The technology that you were almost out of date before you opened.
But we shot this film between sort of end of 2014 and into 2015. And our fear was, will we be out of date? And there are tiny little drones in this movie, for those of you who haven't seen it, that some people said, well, is that real? They're developing them right here in California, and the whole movie will be out of date as soon as these tiny drones are weaponized. So where the technology is going is really kind of creepy. So, but I think what was great about doing this film, and we've talked about it before, is that it combines genuine human emotion and emotional experience with this, that's why we needed such a good cast, with technology. And that was the attraction. How can we create an emotionally driven story that is also on the cutting edge of modern warfare?
I will fire if I see the HVIs moving or when this girl is out of the frag radius, but I want to give her a chance to get out of the way.
Lieutenant, you have clearance. There is a lot more at stake than you see here in this image.
Ma'am, I need you to run the collateral damage estimate again with this girl up front.
The situation has not changed, Lieutenant. You are cleared to engage.
And that's why this movie will never be out of date. The human element, the moral consequences of decisions in war. No matter what the war has been, going back hundreds of years, it still comes down to a simple thing. And that's what this movie does so brilliantly with the discussion of what are we going to do, this one girl or possibly 80 people in a mall somewhere.
Yes, and the way that the film, as I read the script, I remember thinking, well, what would I do? And then for a moment I'd think, I know what I do. And then I thought, well, I don't know what I do. And the arguments back and forth that go from the personal level escalating up to the sort of geostrategic level. And at the end of the day, we as artists, I think our real job is to remind one another of our humanity and not to turn warfare into, bug splats as some, and just to remind ourselves that we as human beings owe each other something more than to consider each other as numbers.
But we would be containing that payload in the vest within those walls, right? Far less collateral damage than them going off in a crowded shopping mall.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, thank you. Obvious to anyone not trying to avoid making a decision.
And you indicated the cast, which is, let's start with Helen Mirren. This role was written for a man. And
Indeed.
At what point did it change to a woman, which is such an interesting decision to make, and I thought such an effective one?
What was interesting was the script was originally written for a man. And I don't say that in any negative way to my wonderful writer, Guy Hibbert. When I called him up, I said, Guy, this is an unbelievable script. I feel that the subject matter should be discussed by men and women, partly because we get a bigger audience, but also because it's not a gender-based discussion. It is a moral and ethical discussion. Having Helen in that role takes the gender question out of it in some ways and allows the audience to focus on the moral and ethical questions.
Foreign Secretary, it is our task to make the right military decision. We cannot engage in an argument about possible future postings on YouTube.
Respect, General. Revolutions are fueled by postings on YouTube.
Now, I just do want to bring attention to Alan Rickman, if I may.
Yes, the late, great Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
This would be one of his last, if not his last film.
This is his last film.
This is his last film.
Yeah, and I wish he was here to talk to you because he was a man of great intelligence, great dignity, great wit. With a film like this, that kind of character can easily be just a stereotypical kind of general who's just wants his own way. And the reason we asked Alan to do it, and we're so glad he did, is he just manages to make you laugh at a moment of extreme tension, but not in a way that takes you out of the movie. And that is a really tricky thing to do.